Hey everybody, welcome back to the Renewed Homestead. I'm Ben, and we have some peaches and cream corn. Our wonderful neighbors had a surplus. They put up all they were going to, so they brought up 2 bushels of this. So we shucked the corn, we washed it, we fed the corn husk to the sheep, which they're still up there chowing and loving that. And we have boiled these for 3 minutes, which is normally what you do when you're going to be putting up corn. Actually, a lot of things, green beans and so forth, you want to kill any bacteria before you preserve it. So we're making cream corn out of this, and I'm going to show you how. Basically, we're going to skim the top off of the kernels, and then we'll go back and cut the rest of the kernel out, and that will release the juices and the kind of the milkiness of it, and that's your cream corn. Okay, so we're gonna start by trying to take the very top of this off. There we go, like that. And once we've got these all done, you need a good sharp knife for this, and I now have some good sharp knives for these kinds of things. Thanks to my wonderful wife for Christmas last year. And these are recommended by the expert butcher Billy over at Pastures Farm.
What kind of knife is it?
It's a Victorinox. Victorinox. So you can see I'm leaving a whole lot of that kernel in there. I've actually found a steak knife works best for this stuff. So now you can kind of see how that squeezes and juices those kernels out.
So you're basically getting the corn milk out.
And basically, yeah.
Now, how is this different from regular corn?
Regular corn, when you're putting it up, you're cutting right down next to the cob as best you can, and leaving, more or less, leaving your kernels whole. This one we actually want to kind of more or less destroy the kernels. You're still going to have, obviously, chunks and, not chunks, that's not the right way to say it, but bigger pieces of corn. There we go. So you can see there's not a whole lot of whole pieces of corn in there. They've all been cut up and more or less mashed. Okay, so we'll get all these done. I think there's about 60 corn cobs in here. Get this all done, we'll come back and get it jarred up.
Just an FYI, preserving sweet corn is an extremely messy job.
Okay, we're going to be jarring these in pints, and the recipe calls for 2 cups of corn to 1 cup of water. We're going to get that boiling, put that in our jars, wipe the lids off, and put it in the pressure canner. Processing time is 85 minutes, and at our altitude, it's going to be 15 pounds of pressure. So we've got enough here. We're going to be canning half the night.
Now, are we adding salt?
We will add a little bit of salt, because I like salt. Just showing what I'm doing. Okay, and then we need 4 cups of water and bring it to a boil. Okay, we don't have a dishwasher right now, so we washed the jars, sterilized them, put hot water back in them, and put the lids on to keep them warm while we did all the processing. Our corn mixture, the corn and water, is now boiling. We're ready to put it in here, and we'll fill it up to this lower rim right here, and that leaves about a 1-inch head space, and that's the space between the top of your food product and the lid itself, it needs that space when it's processing. So I'm going to go ahead and get these loaded in. Then I'm putting a half a teaspoon of salt in here. We'll put the lid on and get it in the pressure canner.
And the lids are boiling in water, correct?
They are, yes.
Now, why are you boiling the lids?
That, my understanding is there's like a little, almost like a wax ring around it, and that helps seal it to the jar. Plus it sterilizes it, of course. Okay. And you want to make sure that you don't have any air in here. So I've always been told a wooden handle is always great, and you can get these wonderful wooden spoons from William over at Permapastures Farm. He hand makes these. This one already has the salt in it. I'm just making sure there's no air pockets because that can lead to bacteria growth. There you go. You don't have to stir the salt in. It will boil around on its own. This is a magnet because
we need to wipe the rims, right?
I've got to wipe the rims, which I've already got a wet paper towel, and especially corn being sticky. I want to make sure that nothing prohibits the jar from sealing. Now, some people use vinegar for this. I've never had a problem just using water on a paper towel. Now I can put lids and rings on. Lid. Lid. Ring on. You don't have to cinch down on that thing. That's already getting hot. And since it's going into water that's already boiling, and let me take a step back. We had the hot water in here because I'm putting a hot product into, you don't want to put it into a cold jar and then back into hot water. I blew out the bottom of some jars the last processing. I can't even blame it on a rookie mistake. All right, there's two of them. Let's go get the rest of the jars. And we're getting ready to seal this up, but you always want to make sure, check the rubber ring that goes around here, the gasket. Any cracks or dry rot or anything like that, and you're not going to get a good seal. Not a bad idea to keep an extra one on hand, which we're going to order another one. Just going to go on. Be careful because that's already steaming and hot. This is a 15-pound weight. There we go.
Now, how do you know when it's ready to start the timer?
As soon as it hits 15 pounds of pressure, this is going to start doing its little thing. But once it hits 15 pounds of pressure, then start your timer. And this is going to process for 85 minutes. All right, it is 9:15, and the pressure just came off the final canner here. And as you will see, as many people in the prepper community say, 2 is 1, 1 is none. Well, we watched a video from Zach at an American Homestead a while back and decided we ought to double down on our canners just in case. And so this is the first time we brought this one out. Very well made canner. I like it so far. I haven't pulled the corn out of that yet, but anyway, 9:15 at night. I'm beat. It's a lot of work, but there's a lot of satisfaction in knowing that we've got food that we put together, we know what's in it, and it can sit on the shelf for a number of years and be there for us when we need it. But anyway, so I'm going to get the jars out so they can start cooling off and hopefully hear that wonderful pink when the can seals, the jar seals. Those of you who can know what I'm talking about. The claw! If you know what movie that's from, put it in the comments. Did want to mention that nothing goes to waste. You'll see we ran the corn husks out to the sheep. They loved them. corn cobs. These can be used for any number of things. You can make a broth out of them, a base. For poaching, basically you get the water boiling and use these, and it flavors the food. These will go out to the chickens. They'll be able to pick off whatever corn is left, and then the rest of it will break down in our compost piles. And let me see what else.
You can also use them instead of wood chips to smoke meat.
Nice. Okay.
Hopefully they heard me.
Okay. Well, if you didn't hear Denise, who's behind the camera, these can also be used along with wood chips when you're smoking meat to give it additional flavor. And I imagine this gives it a little bit of probably a sweet flavor to it. But yeah, working with corn is sticky. It's it's a lot of natural sugars in that, so it's kind of a sticky mess. But anyway, I think we are about ready to wrap it up for the day. Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll wrap it up then. But there was something I did want to tell you. I don't know. Make sure if you're going to our get together on October 22nd, let us know quickly, as it is filling up fast. But as always, be good to yourselves and each other.
Hold on. They RSVP at renewedhomestead@gmail.com, and then what did we just start selling?
Yes, if you're coming to, so if you do plan on coming to the get together with us and Billy and Pinball, email us renewedhomestead@gmail.com. We need the names of all those attending, and as you probably saw in our last video, hopefully we are now selling comfrey at renewedhomestead.com, and you can go to the website, click to the shop area, and same deal you're going to get over at Permapastures Farm with their approval. So it's exciting stuff for us, and we appreciate your support. We appreciate your comments and the feedback from all that we do here. And please make sure you're being good to yourselves. It can be a bit of a trying time out there, so take care of yourselves and watch out for others around you too. So we do appreciate you. Take care, everybody. God bless, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.